Today we are going to be creating pop art inspired by the artist Jasper Johns. Pop art is when you take something popular, change something about it to make people see it in a different way and turn it into art. Popular things turn into art. That's pop art. Jasper Johns is an American artist born in 1930 in the state of Georgia. Before he was an artist, Jasper Johns served for the Army, so he is also a veteran. When he was done with his service, he began painting. His subjects that he turned into pop art were very simple things like our nation's flag, targets, numbers, letters, maps, and he used a lot of primary colors, so a lot of simple symbolic colors. Today, you're going to be painting something very popular to you. You're going to be painting your name using the primary colors. Let's see how we can paint our name and the letters of our name just like Jasper Johns. When we start painting our Jasper Johns name art, you will have the primary colors red, yellow, blue, and white. What I will do is I will start by painting the letters of my name first, and I'm going to do a pattern when I do this. So you will have a couple of different choices for paintbrushes. I'm going to use my bigger paintbrush because I want the letters of my name to be nice and thick. So I'm going to start with the lightest color yellow when I do this so that my brush won't get super dirty right away. So I'm going to use quite a bit of paint and then go over this letter so that my letter is nice and big and thick. Okay, now once I've done one, I'm going to make a pattern. So I'm going to go yellow, red, blue, yellow. But instead of cleaning off my brush, I'm just going to skip those two, keep the yellow on my brush, and go over that. Okay, so now I'm going to do my M nice and thick. Doing my best to be neat. Now if I had extra spaces, then I might do another yellow, but for my name I don't need to do that. Okay, so then if I want, I could keep this yellow on my brush or I can clean it off. So I'm gonna clean it off in my dog bowl, touching in the bottom of my water and making an X on Mr. SpongeBob before I switch colors. Okay, so next I'm going to do red. So I'm gonna do this letter red, going over it so the letter's nice and thick, so you can really read the letters of my name. Now I'm gonna skip this one because that'll be blue, yellow. Now here's red again. Okay. Now I'm gonna clean off my brush so that I can switch to blue. Touching in the bottom of my water cup, making an X on Mr. SpongeBob. Now I'm gonna do my Y blue, nice and thick. And then now if you have an extra space, you can make any shape or design you want, or you could do like the letter of your last name. I'm gonna just make a heart, and a really easy way to make a heart is by making a V, but then you just kind of make the bumps of the heart a little bit thicker after you make the V. So that V is like your guide. Okay, so that's gonna be my open space. So if you have a couple of open spaces, you can decide what you want to do. Okay, so now I have my pattern. I've used the 3 primary colors, but this is the fun part. Now you get to go around and make designs and colors, mix your colors around your name. So I still have blue on my brush. I'm just gonna keep going with that. So you can, one thing I like to do is kind of outline around letters. So I'm kind of just dabbing this blue in to start. But the other fun thing to do now is start mixing in white. So I'm gonna touch the white in, so then I have like a little change in the color blue. Now I don't wanna forget this space in between my A. So I'm kind of dabbing this in. This is one technique. You don't have to stamp, but you can. So this is one thing that you can do. Okay, now I might go to another letter and do the same thing. So I touched into my blue, This time, instead of just going right around the letter, I'm gonna go around the rectangle that's around the letter. I'm gonna touch into my blue. Instead of dabbing it this time, I'm gonna make just some line designs around the edge of this one. Trying not to mix over the letter of my name so I can still read it. Okay. I'm gonna do that down here with my white and my blue kind of mixed together. Now you're never mixing your colors in here. See how these aren't mixed? You can mix colors on the paper though. Okay, so I think that's enough blue for me. Here, let's do this. Let's add some white over the blue on this heart. That'll look kind of cool too. So then I have some differences in color there. I could also do that on my blue letter if I wanted to, just to have some change in color. So I'm just kind of adding some little lines of white on this. Ooh, I like that. Okay, now I'm gonna wipe the extra blue off here. Now I'm gonna clean my brush off. I'm gonna do the same thing with yellow and red, just kind of going around and touching into the color and white to start to add designs. I'm gonna speed up my video now. So see how I'm dotting around the heart with the red and the white. Another great thing that you can do is just make an outline around your letters. So here I'm outlining around the J with my red. Ooh, that makes it stand out and it looks like a bubble letter. I'm gonna try that around a couple more letters where I just go around and trace the letter. Notice how I'm using my red as much as I can so I don't have to clean out my brush so many times. Outlining letters is a great way to make them stand out and look really awesome. Make sure you continue to touch into white and other colors, and then when you switch colors, you are making sure to clean your brush off. Now, as I go into the yellow paint, I am also outlining around my letters to make them stand out. I can touch into white or other colors. So I'm just filling each rectangle around my letters with the primary colors, different designs, and different ways of using my paintbrush, making it dance around and make patterns. Now once you have most of the space filled in with the primary colors, you want to make sure you can read your letters. So if for some reason you went over a letter and you can't see it anymore, you might clean your brush and go over it with paint to make it really so you can read, like this J, I want to make sure that you can read it. Now you can also, when you do that, if you want to mix other colors in, like I'm just adding a little extra white, so I have a thick layer of color on my letter so I can really read it, you can do that. I could do the same thing over here with my A, so I might just do a couple dots of my yellow on the A to add a little design to that. I might clean off my brush and go over it one more time with red to make it nice and a really strong red so that everyone who's looking at this can read these letters really well. Okay, once you like the way that your letters look and maybe you add a little bit of a design or an extra little color like a dot like there I did with white. Once you're happy with that, the last step would be just going and outlining between the letters. And I'm going to clean off my brush and I'm going to use blue because it is my strongest color to do that. So I'm going to get a lot of blue on my brush and I'm going to go, see how there's this center middle line? Now my brush or my paint's already running out, so I'm going to get even more paint. Go across that line. Now there's going to be other colors mixed in and that's fine, but now you can really see that outline. Okay, now I'm going to go the vertical lines coming this way with blue. So now I can see that too. Oh, I need more paint. So remember, we're using really thick paint today, just like Jasper John's. And this line over here. Okay, I'm using my paintbrush pretty thick and heavy. If you wanted to go back, another thing you could do is you could outline all the way around the outside edges. Ooh, I kind of like that, because then it's like each letter has its own special frame. So I'm going to take that blue on these outside edges too. Ooh, I really like that. Maybe you guys should try that too. So I'm going around all of the edges It's okay if the paint goes off the edge of your paper, that's totally fine. To give each letter its own special frame. If you wanted to go back and add some dots on those frames like this to finish this artwork, you totally could. Ooh, I like the dots too. Check that out. So your frames for each letter can have designs on them. I hope that you have a lot of fun mixing your primary colors and making your name letter art inspired by the artist Jasper Johns. Good luck.